get in a vehicle and you don't feel the thrill or the sense of freedom or that connectedness with the road, it's not going to be a Mustang. So that's absolutely key for us. We have this huge following of loyal customers and enthusiasts that we've built over 60 years. And so we need to make sure that we stay true to those individuals because they're our best advocates at the end of the day, right?
In 2026, keeping a product relevant for over 6 decades requires a masterful balance of historical heritage, mechanical innovation, and a deep understanding of consumer loyalty.
I think it's important for business owners to really hone in on, what's the one or two things that really make me special or my business special, my brand special, and make sure you don't lose sight of those things.
Hello everyone, this is Kripa Anand and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. Today we are exploring the business mechanics of brand longevity and customer obsession. In 2026, keeping a product relevant for over 6 decades requires a masterful balance of historical heritage, mechanical innovation, and a deep understanding of consumer loyalty. Joining us today is Jordan Gerrits, the Vehicle Line Manager for Enthusiast Vehicles and Mustang at Ford Motor Company of Canada. Jordan leads the strategic performance, marketing, and line management for one of the most recognized and iconic automotive brands in the world. He is here today to share his senior level insights on managing a legendary product portfolio and translating raw consumer passion into sustainable corporate growth. So, before further ado, let's welcome this very special guest. Jordan, welcome to the podcast. Such a pleasure to have you with us.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here.
Now, Jordan, very few consumer products survive the 60 weeks mark, in Canada specifically, let alone 60 years. The Mustang has managed to remain a cultural touchstone through shifting generations, economic cycles, and radical technological evolutions. Mustang has been iconic for over 6 decades, right? So from a business standpoint, how do you keep the Mustang brand modern without losing its legacy appeal?
Absolutely. That's a really good question, one that comes with undoubtedly a lot of pressure, as you could imagine. At the end of the day, I think for Mustang, it really comes down to staying rooted in our DNA. And, for many people, Mustang really means freedom. It represents performance. And it's all about the driving experience for Mustang. And so when we look at evolving the product and we look at bringing new products to market, we have to make sure that those things are core to the product. If you get in a vehicle and you don't feel the thrill or the sense of freedom or that connectedness with the road, it's not going to be a Mustang. So that's absolutely key for us.
Wow, I think, as you said, I agree. It's all about protecting the DNA of the product while letting the features evolve, right? So if you alter the soul of the brand, you alienate your core. But if you don't modernize, you become a museum piece, right? So finding that sweet spot is masterclass marketing, right?
Absolutely. And you hit on a unique challenge that Mustang has is we have this huge following of loyal customers and enthusiasts that we've built over 60 years. And so we need to make sure that we stay true to those individuals because they're our best advocates at the end of the day, right? But we also need to venture into new areas, find new consumers to help keep the brand relevant. An interesting thing that we've done recently was launch a partnership with RTR, which is a brand run by Von Gittin Jr., who's a Formula Drift champion.
Right.
So we've got a new Mustang coming out shortly that's a partnership with him. It's a factory-based Mustang RTR, and that's allowed us to kind of open up our brand to some new enthusiasts, new customers, younger customers that maybe we haven't talked to recently. So it's really unique and interesting, a way for us to try to stay relevant.
That is very interesting, and definitely we'll talk more about this specific product launch as well. But When we talk about balancing performance, practicality, and value for Canadian drivers, Ford is something that immediately comes to mind. So, what Mustang models offer the best balance of performance, value, and daily usability in Canada specifically?
Great question. We actually, our lineup right now is so robust. We've got a Mustang out there for every buyer, every enthusiast, no matter what your budget is.
Hmm.
And so like I think about, sort of the entry point, which would be Mustang EcoBoost. That product is really interesting. It delivers strong performance as a Mustang should. But it also has a little bit of a focus on everyday driving, a little bit more on efficiency as well.
Hmm.
And it hits that budget price point that customers might need. If they just want the experience of driving a Mustang, they
Right.
can do it in an EcoBoost and still get that thrilling experience. And then if you think about going up the lineup, the GT is probably the most iconic and most recognizable Mustang in the lineup.
Hmm.
That's powered by the 5-liter V8, which is known to Mustang as being a really great engine, really great performance.
Right.
That one is obviously more tuned to performance and track-oriented driving. That's going to give you, the V8 rumble, the auditory experience that a lot of enthusiasts expect out of a Mustang.
Hmm.
And then to take it a bit further, we have the Dark Horse. That one offers a lot more track-tuned suspension, a little bit more horsepower out of that 5-liter V8,
Hmm.
and that's for the enthusiast that plans to track the vehicle and drive it the way a Mustang is meant to be driven. And then at the very top end, we have the newly released Dark Horse SC and the Mustang GTD, which is the ultra exclusive supercar version of the Mustang. And those two are really the ultimate expression of Mustang performance and engineering. And for enthusiasts that want to experience that, those are the two top end from a performance standpoint that they'd be looking at. And then I know I've mentioned staying relevant and trying to dive into new areas. And the Mustang Mach-E is probably the best example of that. It brings a fully electrified powertrain to Mustang
Hmm.
in an SUV format, which is interesting.
Hmm.
And it offers a lot of versatility, great performance. Obviously, you get that instant torque out of an EV, so it fits really well with Mustang, and it was a great way for us to sort of expand the brand while keep it relevant with newer customers that are looking for new technologies.
Wow, I think it's great to see that performance doesn't have to compromise practicality, right?
Exactly.
Structuring a portfolio with clear tiers, it allows you to capture different buyer personas without diluting the primary brand name as well. So
Mhm.
kudos to you guys for thinking about everyone
Yeah.
in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, Jordan, next let's look at how enthusiast vehicles fit into the professional lifestyle. So, how practical is the Mustang as a daily driver for entrepreneurs and professionals out there? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think for SME owners, the vehicle that they drive represents something. It represents themselves. It represents their brand in a lot of cases, right? And so, the performance of the vehicle matters, but also the everyday usability. And I think Mustang has a brand and a legacy with it that people are aware of. Everyone has a story associated with Mustang, and I think for people that are looking for everyday usage out of a Mustang, there's a lot of versatility built in there that I think a lot of people may not be aware of. Like
Yeah.
like if you think about a Mustang, it's a sports car,
Right.
but it has a lot of storage. You'd probably be surprised with how much space is in the trunk. The rear seats fold down to open up that space if you need it. But then if I think about driving that every day, commuting, whether you're going in between meetings from one place to another,
Hmm.
the cabin is very driver focused. So the comfort of the seats, the way the screens are turned towards you, all of that is focused on the driver. So it's a really unique driving experience that way. And then we've also got lots of technologies in there that will help improve or make your commute easier. And we've got driver assistance technologies, adaptive cruise control,
Hmm.
lane keeping assist. But then I think what's special about Mustang is the experience. So you're going to get in that car and you're going to love driving it every single time, no matter where you're going to work, coming
Right.
from work, going to one meeting or another. I think it's just the want to drive the vehicle that really differentiates it, and something that if you could do it every single day, then I think you might as well. And I would love it. So
No, of course, I completely agree with you because your information that reframes, how we look at utility, because a vehicle that brings excitement to a routine commute can genuinely shift a professional's daily mindset and morning momentum as well, right? So as you said, experience is something that everyone is living for. That to the business owners and professionals watching, your brand isn't just what's on your business card, it's how you show up every single day. In 2026, building a business requires immense drive, passion, and a willingness to stand out from the crowd. Why shouldn't your choice of vehicle reflect that exact same energy? The Mustang proves that you don't have to choose between corporate professionalism and raw driving excitement. If you are ready to trade an uninspiring commute for an iconic driving experience that fuels your daily hustle, visit Ford.ca or drop by your local Ford dealer to explore the lineup. Reclaim your drive, stand out on the road, and let your journey match your ambition. We're taking a short break right here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more insights from Jordan Gerrits. Stay tuned.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. Still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back. Let's continue our conversation with Jordan and explore the power of customer loyalty behind the Mustang brand. So, next, I'd like to touch upon the power of Mustang's loyal and passionate community. So, Mustang buyers are often deeply loyal, right? Everyone knows that about Mustang. From Ford's perspective, how does that passion influence product planning and, your future product strategy?
Yeah, really good question. And Mustang is one of those products where you're not just buying a product, you're buying into a community of people.
Right.
We have our heritage is so long with 6 decades. We've created this massive community of enthusiasts, and like there's owner clubs everywhere. Pretty much in any city across Canada, you can find a Mustang owner club. And so for Ford, harnessing the feedback from those customers, the energy, the passion that they have for the brand is super important. So we involve them in all stages of the research and development process, right from concept at the beginning
Yeah.
through testing different designs, everything. So they're involved in the whole process. And it's I touched on it earlier. It's really important that we don't alienate those loyal customers, right? And we need to make sure that we're true to our core and our DNA just to keep Mustang as a success and keep it going for many more decades to come.
Wow, that's such a soulful answer. And it's like an extended family that you have, right? It's a powerful cycle. When your customers are that invested, right, your product planning becomes a collaborative conversation with a community rather than just a top down corporate decision. So that's great to know. Finally, now let's look at why the pure mechanical driving experience still matters, specifically for the hardcore drivers out there, the old school ones, right? So, why does the manual transmission remain important to the Mustang brand today?
Fantastic question. I'm really glad you asked this because this is a personal one for me. My
Uh,
my first car was a Mustang V8 5 liter with a manual transmission.
oh, wow.
And personally, I think that the experience you get driving a manual is different from anything else on the
Right.
road. You feel so connected to the vehicle, to the road that it's unmatched. And it's core to Mustang because manual transmissions are provide a lot of performance. They, like I said, they provide a unique connection to the driving the vehicle, to the car, to the road. And I think, if you're going to get that feeling, that emotional connection with the car, the feeling of freedom, a manual transmission is going to give you that. And it's very, very unique. I think it also helps to differentiate Mustang. The manual transmission isn't widely available anymore. And so keeping that in Mustangs keeps us relevant with our loyalists. It provides us something unique for new customers. And I think, the fact that it remains a part of our DNA, it will be true to the product for many years to come. There's no plans to change the manual transmission in a Mustang going forward. I think it says something about our commitment to the brand and to our legacy that our current loyalists value, and I think a lot of people would too.
Definitely, Jordan, that is a brilliant insight. Sometimes luxury and premium positioning aren't about automation, right? They're about engagement. And preserving the analog connection is a deliberate and a highly strategic differentiator. So once again, kudos to Mustang for, doing that. I'm loving this conversation today, and definitely I'd love for you to be back, hopefully, for a deeper discussion that we do with you and the Ford team the next time. But for now, before we let you go, Jordan, if there's one final piece of advice, what business lesson can entrepreneurs learn from Mustang's 60-year legacy?
Really good question. I think, I've mentioned quite a bit already, like staying true to your DNA and staying true to what you do well. I think it's important for business owners to really hone in on, what's the one or two things that really make me special or my business special, my brand special, and make sure you don't lose sight of those things. Double down on them. Find ways to evolve them in ways like for Mustang, we're evolving with technology, connectivity, different things that newer customers expect. But you have to do that to stay relevant. And so I think it's really important for brands to stay true to what they stand for and don't lose sight of it. And I think if you are able to maintain a long-term strategic vision, build those things in there, it'll ground your decision making to make sure that, you're not losing sight of what's important to you, what got you started and what made you and brought you to the point you're at today. So I think that's really important. And then I'd also say staying true, connected to your loyal customers is really important as well. And I mentioned the enthusiast base that we have and how connected we are with those individuals. I think that could apply to anyone or any small business or medium-sized business, even large-scale business, right? I think if you can tap in and make sure that those customers feel valued, they feel a part of your brand, it's going to go a long way to building advocacy for you and keeping that legacy going in the
Wow.
future.
That is, I think, a beautiful message that everyone can learn from. But before we finally let you go, Jordan, here's a personal question for you. You're so passionate about what you do, right? And it clearly shows in your eyes. Were you so passionate about cars and automotive in general growing up, or did you stumble upon this in your career? So, how did you get to do what you're doing today?
Oh, yeah. The passion for vehicles and cars and the automotive industry started really young for me. My dad grew up in a large family. He often talked about him and his brothers having newer cars, getting together with their friends, extended family, bringing their cars together, doing show and shines on the weekend. It was something they did, and I just thought that was so interesting and a way to bring people together. And then I started noticing cars, paying attention to them as I was growing up, and then when I finally got the opportunity to intern at Ford, it was like one of the coolest things for me. So the passion for autos has been in my blood and like since I was young, and I couldn't be happier being managing the Mustang brand now. It's a dream job for me. So
Exactly, right? It's a dream job for so many people out there. So, what's the favorite thing about this job that you love the most? Every day that you walk into your Mustang office.
I think it's just, honestly getting to think about Mustang every single day, getting to drive Mustang once in a while, getting to test new vehicles, be involved in the product planning process. As an enthusiast, I think that is like just so cool to me, and it's something that I've longed to do for a long time, and just so grateful that I have the opportunity to be in the position today.
That is amazing, Jordan. Thank you so much for pulling back the curtain on an absolute icon and sharing these incredible insights with our community today. We're incredibly thankful.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
All right, that was Jordan Gerrits from Ford Motor Company of Canada, a masterclass in multi-generational brand strategy, product portfolio management, and why the legendary Mustang remains a dominant force on Canadian roads in 2026. To all the listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and visit CanadianSME.ca for more such resources. To learn more about how we are supporting the ecosystem, please visit the Canadian SME Small Business Foundation at smbfoundation.ca. And lastly, a very special thank you to our partners, UPS, our shipping partner, and ADP, our HR partner, for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses across Canada. I'll see you all in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.